So, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Well, I am Saraswati, Secretary General of the Madras Chamber of Commerce and Industry, MCCI, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all for this Sustainability Speak Talk series. This is the 12th in the line, and today being a special day, let me also wish everyone a very, very happy World Environment Day. As we were just talking just before the start of the program, God has been kind to us. Probably we can take it as a good sign, good signal that we are having a very pleasant weather after a heated, what should I say, hotter summer last few days or last few weeks. And today it has really been pleasant and we are having rains too. So we wish and pray that we all play very responsible to have this weather permanently with us. Thank you so much. And just to give a very brief introduction, Mr. Hafiz Khan, and for others who may be joining for the first time, Madras Chamber is the oldest chamber, 188 years. I don't know whether to say old or young because we are staying very relevant. So I always prefer to say 188 years young chamber, oldest in southern India, second oldest in the country, and second only by a week's time. Bombay Chamber was born a week ahead of us. Otherwise, I always say we would have been twins. So otherwise, this is the second oldest Chamber of Commerce. And we have focusing on the state of Tamil Nadu. We have very consciously positioned ourselves as a Tamil Nadu chamber, though we call Madras, it's not the Madras city. We are talking about the old Madras province. And particularly in today's context, this is a Tamil Nadu-based chamber working for the socio-economic development of the state of Tamil Nadu. And we have quite a few expert committees. We have quite a few, lot of experts, I would say, through the expert committees. Dr. Ravi is here today. He's part of our governing council as well as he was the former head of the corporate law committee. And during our 175th year, which was in 2011, we drove a lot of new initiatives. One such thing is the Sustainable Chennai Forum, where we are looking at creating a business case for sustainability, because there has always been a debate between environment and economic development. So we thought both are essential. That's our conclusion. And at the same time, we were also thinking that we should make a business case for sustainability so that it could be a win-win both for the business and for the environment community as a whole. So we started this in 2011 at the celebrations of our 175th year anniversary, along with few other initiatives like a skill development, food for thought programs, everything. So we have number of activities under that. We are also having a flagship program, the Urban Thinkers Campus, every year with a select team, generally focusing on Tamil Nadu, on Chennai, but replicable elsewhere. We had on net zero, we had on water security, many of the things. And as such, our Sustainable Chennai Forum has 5 pillars: energy, water, waste management, transport, and urban greening. These are our 5 pillars for the Sustainable Chennai Forum, and we have more than 700 plus members. So we work with them on many of these areas. And this Sustainability Speak Talk series, we started some time back. This is the 12th in the series. And today, as I said, it's also special because we are having it on the International World Environment Day itself. So I think this is all the more special. So without further ado, I would request Mr. Hafiz Khan to talk about today's topic on greening our cities. Just before that, let me very briefly introduce him because I want to give him more time. So I'm not probably elaborating on the thing, though I could go on and on, but let me very quickly introduce him. He is a dedicated climate healer and founder of, I like the term, I like your organization name, Community Tree, an initiative focused on environmental conservation and enhancing biodiversity, with extensive experience in managing and maintaining 1 million trees across 78 locations in India. We should ask him how he's managing that kind of a bandwidth. Mr. Khan has been instrumental in supporting organizations to reduce their carbon footprint through the creation of personalized micro forests. Those are very, very interesting topics and very apt to discuss on this special date. And Mr. Khan, I can see we have a lot of members, and probably we will also come back to you with more ideas to probably take it to the industrial belt and see whether we could extend this conversation and take it to there and see what best we can do. Again, in line with our basic objective of creating a business case for sustainability. So I would like to stop here and I would like to leave the floor to you. And I would request all of the participants to keep your audio, video in silent mode. Maybe you can post your questions in the chat box, and probably at the end of the session, we could also have some open-ended questions. Over to you, Mr. Khan.
Right. Thank you so much, all leaders over here. You've inspired so many people in the last couple of years in your own work, and addressing today for a gathering, for an organization who is more than a century old. It's a privilege for me. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Well, I'm going to be sharing you my journey about how in the last 5 years we have planted 1.5 million trees, and how all of us can replicate the same thing in your respective schools and colleges, in your offices and in your factories and your neighborhood. So the whole idea is to inspire and implement in wherever we are and however we are. Right. So, having said that, let's get on to what I have to say. I'm going to be talking about what is the situation of the green cover right now, number one, and number two is how we are working towards greening the cities, and third is whenever I visit the forest, what are the leadership lessons which I have learned? I would like to share you a glimpse of that. Right. So, well, the Earth, the planet has been there for the last 4.6 billion years. And for easier understanding, let us make it into years and hours and minutes. Okay. So for the easier when you put it short, the scale is the planet has been there for the last 46 years. Man has been existing only for the last 4 hours, right? And the industrial revolution started only 1 minute ago, and in that 1 minute we have cut off, chopped off, removed off more than 50% of the world's green cover. The present condition of India, the truth is, the green cover is less than 25%. In Tamil Nadu, it is less than 20%. It is something around 19.46, something like that. The Chennai's green cover, this overall Chennai district, the green cover is 14.9%. Greater Chennai Corporation is less than 6%. Once it was so beautiful with the wonderful trees across the roads. Now it is less than 6%. And there is a glimpse of an image of Chennai between 2000, year 2024. In 24 years, this is how the dramatic transformation, dramatic change, which has happened to Namma Chennai. Yeah. So what we have done is we are a very young organization. We are just 5.5 years old, and in this COVID went away for 2 years. We didn't do anything at all. In the last 3.5 years, we have planted 1.5 million trees, and we are right now at across 84 locations. We have created 84 forests, different kinds of forests. The average global, United Nations says that averagely it has to be 33% of any land has to be green for us to be sustainable. So if that has to be the case, then we need to create a green cover of approximately 12,000 square kilometers across India, which is 5.5 million acres. In square feet, it is 240 billion square feet, right? This is what we have to green up. So therefore, India, we could call India as sustainable, not net zero at all. We are far, far behind that. Okay. So, we are talking about various SDG goals, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and all this. Just planting trees covers all the areas in terms of hunger, in terms of poverty, in terms of gender equality, in terms of balancing the environment, climate, sustainable cities, and everything. So here we are. I think so. We are blessed to be in this particular business and in this particular work what we're doing. So some of the kind of projects which we do are primarily is we have been creating urban forests in cities, that is wherever there is empty land parcels in parks or within communities or between industries. So we create detox zones to enhance the air quality and reduce the pollution. In schools, we create food forests so that the children can see how the trees grow and probably replicate in their own homes and eat organic food, pluck and eat their own creation. In apartment communities and residential areas, we create butterfly parks so that people get used to the colors of the flowers. Generally, no one are bothered when someone are cutting off trees beside of homes. If they get used to the birds coming in and the butterflies coming in and the colorful flowers, probably we think that they will stand for the tree and ask not to cut the tree. When ask question like, why are you cutting the tree unnecessarily? So in near water bodies, we try to understand what is the kind of migratory birds they used to be coming and try to uh, plant those kind of trees which have been uh, almost going extinct or abandoned and then bring back the flora and the fauna. And the industrial zones, the idea is to reduce the carbon footprint and reduce the pollution. And right now, we're just starting off this initiative called Green Lifestyle. While we are talking about creating, forests outside, why don't we bring forests inside? Imagine jungle homes and jungle balconies and jungle bathroom. When we are having a shower, we'll be having all the trees around us. Yeah, that's what we are aspiring for. That's what we are getting into. So our plantation methodology is simple. What we do is we plant in matrix of 15 into 15 boxes. The whole idea is while we get sponsors and when we plant trees, we also want the outside people, common community also to get involved in our plantations. Each place has to be a learning space. Each space has to be a legacy creation. Each space has to be a model where people can learn and replicate. So therefore, when we plant in boxes, we want people to come and ask us, third row, fifth column, why is it missing? Seventh row, fourth column, why is it missing? Right? So that's why we do the boxes format. Generally, plant 2 to 4 feet trees, and we mix as many varieties as possible so that we enhance the urban biodiversity. What happens is in urban areas when they cut off trees, the urban birds like the sunbirds, the babblers, and the miners and the quails all are gone. When we replant once again, they plant 20 feet away or 50 feet away, far away. So therefore, what happens is the urban birds, urban biodiversity, which require shrubs and thick forestation, thick vegetation, is lost. So we are demolishing the habitat of the urban birds. So our plantation is more about uh, maintaining and preserving the urban biodiversity. And where we do the plantation is we work with the army, we work with the navy, we work with the police, we work with the public works department, we work with the lakes department, work with industrial bodies, OSR lands. Okay, so the OSR means open space reserve for green spaces. And these we tie up and get an MOU stating that for the next 15 years, 20 years, there should not be any extensions or there should not be any constructions coming in that particular place. So the impact and outcome we look at is to restore back the lost green cover, reduce the temperature. It's so magical to see that when we stand on the road, it is like uh, uh, 38 degrees and 40 degrees. When we come inside the forest, it is like 7 degrees, 8 degrees lesser. Just the canopy of a tree and then the temperature. I think all of us should replace our ACs with trees, right? So that's the beauty of nature. Nature is so simple and nature is so easy. It's just that we are complicating uh, with various things, many things, right? So third is to reduce the noise and the dust pollution. and naturally have clean and wonderful air, and also enhance the, you know, mentally and physically stronger and better communities, and enhance the surface water level, enrich the soil quality, and create a wonderful magic around us. So this is a sample of the image of a transformation. We have similarly some 84 transformations. Probably we'll get to see sometime when we meet once again. Yeah. So now, uh, wherever we plant trees, uh, before wherever we plant trees, it is just not about plantation. It's more than that. Plantation, I would say, just 10% of it. The balance is all about engagement and connecting with communities. So wherever we plant trees, wherever we create a forest, what we do is first we connect with one set of community, which is the uh, tea shops, tattukada, pottikada, all the stuff, and the eateries. We ask all the tea shops to give your tea dust to us. Our trees love your tea dust. Otherwise, it's going to go to the trash and the landfills. We go to the all the coconut shell vendors where they drink the nariyal pani, coconut water, and take those shells and put it across the mulch. It enhances the moisture content of the soil and reduces the water evaporation, especially this summer is so hot. So all the coconut shells from these vendors helped our saplings so very well. Third is similarly sugarcane juices. All the otherwise, it's all going to the landfills and messy and smell and fire and whatnot. You must have heard the Palikarni marshland got fired 2 weeks ago. So that all could have been reduced if it's just shared over here in multiple places. So this is how we get to connect with the first community. Second is we involve the schools and the colleges and the corporate organizations to come to our place on a regular basis and replicate. Third is we organize, every Saturday it's open for all the communities to come over here. For people who are interested in photography, they can come and take photographs and create a time lapse of how it was before and how it was later. For people who are interested in videograph and drones, they can come and take videos and share with us. For people who are interested in technology, they can set up cameras at the pupa or the butterfly pupa or a bird's nest and show to the world how the butterfly bursts from the pupa and flies off, or the baby birds hatch from the eggs and then fly off in 14 days time, and the parents come and hunt for the bird, look for the bird and see the nest is empty. The magic and the trauma of the mothers and the father birds. So if they're interested in technology, they can do that. If they're interested in yoga and meditation, then come and you will do the yoga and meditation. If they're interested in singing, generally we sing for an audience. Here we want you to come and sing for the flowers and the birds and the colors and the flowers. If you're interested in dancing, we want you to come and dance over here and make reels where kachapadam, pakapadam reels, all the reels with people. We want you to come and make reels over here. So for people interested in arts and craft, they can do the painting over here. If they're interested in DIY craft, they can make wind chimes and ribbon. So our forests are, while it could be sponsored by some XYZ company, they belong to the world, and we want the whole world to come over here and create a wow place, place inclusive of all people of all age, all genders, and be very, very inclusive, right? So this is how we engage the communities, and this is how we bring people and connect people with the soil and with the nature. So therefore, we can do not lose back the connect what we have lost. So each time, whenever I go to the forest, we have a learning experience. I would like to share some of the lessons which I learned. So, like for example, last time which I went, I saw wild rabbits in our forest. It's like, hello, darling, how do you know this place? How do you know that we have created a forest here? Who brought you here? So each time we go there, it's a magical experience for me. Right. So some of the learnings which I would like to share is like the way our fingerprints are unique and every individual is unique in our own way. No two people are same. Similarly, the trees are unique and precious in their own exclusive ways. No trees you can find the same at all. So, for example, here is an example of a tree. I don't know how many of you have seen it. This is the rainbow eucalyptus tree. which looks so colorful. It actually looks like painted ones, but it is not. That is the real tree itself, which has the all these seven colors of a rainbow. Yeah. So the second is, uh, some wonderful, wonderful lessons and metaphors are when a tree is cut off, it doesn't stop growing. It grows from the side. Probably the trees are teaching us, or probably trees are telling us not to give up in life. Never give up. You still have abundance within you, and you have the power, and you're extremely powerful. You're incredibly powerful. You can grow. So sometimes it may grow as one at the side, sometimes it may go two or three at the same time. You can bounce back really, really stronger, more powerful than what you are. And if you look at the leaves, apart from the desert leaves for one particular reason, the trees are not sharp and standing. Most of all the trees are gentle and falling down. Probably the trees are telling us, you know, to be gentle and humble as we are growing up, and be simple, as we're becoming great leaders and big leaders. All these learnings, for me, whenever I get stuck up in a problem or anything, I always connect with how's nature, what will nature give me an answer, nature give me a solution. Because I think so nature always gives me wonderful and clear and beautiful and right solutions. Earlier, there are advertisements saying that, if you're using black Munchen, you're horrible. You have to change it to white toothpaste. And then now all the toothpaste companies saying go back to the black. Like man is changing like mad. And earlier, when I studied in school, they said Pluto was a planet. Now there is no Pluto at all. Pluto is not a planet at all, right? So similarly, people are keeping changing their words, but then the only real answer, which one permanent, is from the nature, and that's why I get the inspiration from there, right? So when a tree is growing up, when something is concrete is stopping in the top, it doesn't stop growing. It bends down and flexes and grows in the top, right? So probably, if we have to be growing big, if we are aspiring for big things to happen to us, I think so. We have to be flexible, and we have to be adaptable and not be rigid and fixed if we have to thrive well. So when you throw a stone, it gives you back a manga or a koyak, or it gives you fruit. So imagine how beautiful it must be that you throw something and gives back. Imagine if we do you think we'll be able to do that in terms someone shouts at you, someone screams at us, we respond in generosity and kindness. Probably this has to be deeply thought about and deeply felt. When we smoke and stub a cigarette, it gives you fragrance from the flowers, right? So probably if someone is uh, giving us harm, I think so. How would will we have the grace uh, to respond with kindness, or how would we be doing that? Right. So in the early years of the trees, we see that the trees are thriving fast, growing fast, and wherever there is an opening, mm, you know, growing through that and exploring wonderful new opportunities. That's how we have to be. Whenever there is an opportunity, we have to maximize it. We have to optimize it. We have to utilize it. Uh, if we are faced with an opportunity in front of us, once the opportunity comes up and we reap the benefits of that as bigger leaders and bigger people, once we have grown to a certain level, the trees, once they get the fruits, they're bending down and giving you. Right? Bending down is not standing straight, it's bending down, giving you. So the philosophy of abundance, the philosophy of giving generously without expecting in return, is what I think so we should be thriving about. Right. So this is one of the beautiful metaphors I really, really like. So after one particular stage, the leaves look beautiful in a tree. So without a tree, with a tree without leaves, is going to be so uh, very, very barren and naked. So when the leaves are there, is such a delightful sight to be seen. But then all the leaves will have to fall. So we'll have to allow it to fall. So similarly, most of the what happens to us is we hold back. to so many of our designations and the people whom we are close to us, or certain positions, or certain information and knowledge. We don't want to give it to that. So, and therefore, we don't get to see the beauty of the falling and then the beginning of a new generation itself. So, I think we, as we are growing up, we have to allow the leaves within us to fall so that new leaves within us will shape up and come up. And as we are growing, and I think in Madras Chamber of Commerce, I see a lot of senior people, all wonderful people who must be and who are a canopy at this present. So probably it represents that we are giving a safe haven. We are giving a space where people can come and confide to us. People feel secure with us and guarded with us. So yeah, we can be a canopy. And one of the most interesting and the beautiful part of it is trees are not in a hurry at all. They take the time, they're patient, and they're extremely tolerant. Whereas now, I don't know what's happening to us. All of us are in a very hurry. All of us want quick. All of us want fast. All of us want everything to be immediate. I think these are some of the lessons. I can just keep going on and on about all these lessons from the trees. I think with this, we will stop about the lessons I learned, and I'm happy to take your questions. We have a small video, a transformation video, if we can show it.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Was one of the transformation videos of a 700-day transformation of video.
Where is this? Which location is this?
Yes, are you able to hear me?
Which location is this?
Which location is this? Where did you do this?
Okay, this particular location is Mahindra University. This is beside the BMW factory. Yeah.
Okay, very nice, very nice. I think we should give him a big hand.
Yes, I'm happy to take any questions if they have anything about if you have to replicate in your places or if you have to set up nurseries, please ask me questions. I'm happy to answer.
Hi, my name is Aisha. I'm from Okapi Research and Advisory. I just wanted to know, do you conduct training sessions for the actual implementation of the actual procedures that I'm sure it's very complicated, but do you have cohorts or something that you do to teach others how to replicate the work that you're doing?
Aisha, can you be a little bit slower and ask the question once again, please?
I'm so sorry. Am I breaking off?
No,
Yeah.
maybe you have some issue with your line, Mr. Khan, because we are able to hear her. Anyway, you can repeat, Aisha.
Okay, so I just wanted to know, do you run any cohorts or training programs to teach people how you actually do the implementation projects that you have done so far?
Okay, yes, there are two ways of doing it. One is we of volunteers or interns coming with us for 6 week program wherein they get to understand and learn, and we take them through all the sites and we share all the worst of the case which has happened to in the sites to the best of the cases, and they get to understand thoroughly how to go about what to do about. That is one way. Or alternatively, we ourselves will implement and support you as well. Yeah. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Should we read out Sandhya Shekhar has said an
Yes,
easy way to?
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Venkat, would you be able to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Please.
From Sandhya Shekhar, she says an easy way to empower people to participate in the greening is to share DIY resources for greening their own gardens, balconies, terraces. Would Mr. Khan be able to, will be willing to share these, some thoughts on those?
Yes. So we always follow the philosophy of abundance and philosophy of giving, being with trees. That's what I told you. We'll be happy to share, and we also want you to learn and share and teach your apartment communities and the associations and the groups, which whatever you are. So please ask us, and we will tell you how. In fact, as we are talking right now, we are doing a workshop in Allison in Oregon for 300 people. So we're talking, teaching them about how they can do their own home composting and how they can bring butterflies and birds to their balconies.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mr. Khan. Thank you so much. But are there any resources that are readily available on your website or something, which could be a quick template to get started?
Okay, what we can do is, depending upon what you want, we have small workbooks and small booklets which we can share with you, Sandhya.
Thank you. Would be grateful for pointing us to those resources. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandhya, for probably logging in from London, I guess. UK.
Yeah.
Okay,
Pleasure,
thanks.
Saraswati. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, the next
Yeah,
question.
good
is from-
evening. Yeah, can I? I'm Jayachandra Ringavaran. Can I ask my question?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I have a small query, sir. I am very much impressed about urban forest concept. Is it advisable to go with urban forest in our factory? Is it advisable to keep this kind of concept dense to forest tree plantation inside of factory premises? Because if we go with dense to forest kind of arrangement, then we are facing this monkey and birds entering into the factory premises and disturbing our production process. So is there any other way or any other suggestion from your end?
Okay, so we have done this in quite a few factories, which we can go and show you as well. So what we have to do is, if there are monkeys, and we don't want birds also to be coming inside the factory and messing up, right? So
Yes, sir.
having said that, the choice of plants which we choose will determine the attractiveness of the animals and the birds. So we can choose non-fruit varieties and monkey not attractive varieties, just the green varieties and the flower varieties. So we should not be planting nesting varieties or brooding where birds come there and nest or stay in the evenings or have nesting. So if you remove those kind of trees from that, then they will not be coming at all. We'll have the
Okay.
greenery at the same time, no monkeys and no birds. Probably we can have butterflies.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
There's a question from Sandeepa Lahiri. She says, how do we get land for plantation? In fact, I had a similar question. In cities, etc., whether it's hardly, we have concretized the whole place. So, how does one encourage the government to take it up as such?
Who's asking this?
The Sandeepa Lahiri was asking this question about
All right,
getting
Mr.
land.
Mr. Venkat and Sandeep.
I added
Sangeeta,
it.
Yeah,
you
actually,
know what? Yeah,
yeah,
Sandeepa, you
I
know
was
what?
saying.
You will be surprised. There are so much of land within your own communities, within your own land space. If you're in Adayar, or Ananagar, or Mugampet, or Arepuram, or Pottivaka, Marisia, or Thambaram, wherever, there are so much of places. Only in the recent past, right now, the bureaucracy is really wonderful, I should say. The IAS officers, they are really awesome and amazing. So they're just finding out which all the corporation land, which all the OSR. OSR means open space reserve lands, and trying to mark and put on fencing for that. Otherwise, hundreds and thousands of acres have been encroached, and people don't even know whose it was. Right. So right now, you just have to go to approach your nearest RDC or your zonal office, and they'll be giving you small parks, small spaces. If you would like to want to do it for larger spaces, they're happy to give it to you. The government is extremely happy to hand over to people, and then for them to take responsibility of that. Right now, they're looking at they want a people's movement. They want people to take responsibility for their respective areas and zones, so that therefore encroachment doesn't happen. So people are just not bothered about the government lands, parcels of parks in the areas. So someone has encroached it and no one knows about it at all. So they want everyone to be aware of it, everyone to be known about it.
So thank
in
you
case
for
if
your
you want
answer.
anybody to,
Yeah.
yes.
Just to add on few more questions, like few more queries I do have. This question was regarding regarding a factory or an organization for going for afforestation. I was not intending for community plantation. I was intending for industry to have plantation or afforestation project. So for that also the same process applies, that the industry has to approach the zonal officer for getting the land for afforestation. How is it?
Yes, you can choose where you want to go. You can have a wish list of where you want it. Whether you want
Okay.
it near your factory or you want to have it in else place, wherever you want it. And then you can speak to that's what I told you, you can speak to the army over there if there is any army. If there's the police, you can ask the police over there. If there's any lakes department, you can speak to the lakes department. If there's any public works department, PWD, they can speak. If there's a highways department, has got huge land parcels. Near every toll gate, there is a land parcel. Near every lorry parking space, there's a land parcels. You can speak to the collector, you can speak to the panchayat, you can do that. Please let us know which area you're looking for, ma'am. We will support and get it for you. I'll share you how the documentation process is. It's a simple request letter, and they will respond back to you. And then you just have to write an MOU and get it signed for how many years you want to maintain and manage it.
Great, thank you so much. And do you perform any like sequestering calculation, like how much of carbon dioxide emission has been reduced due to plantation of so much acres of land?
Okay, it is not by acres of land, it is by number of trees and the kind of species. For each species has different sequestration and oxygen release. Different carbon dioxide sequestered and oxygen release. So it goes by species to species and the height of the saplings and the density of the girth of the stem. So it's a simple Excel formula. We can just give it to you and then you can calculate your own stuff. Or we can also calculate and give it to you.
Okay, so that exercise is also parallelly going with the forestation.
Yes. So wherever we do the plantation, we give them some ESG related metrics so that it will help in understanding the ROI, return of investment of the plantation project itself.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, there's a question from Prasenjit Sidhya about how do we set up a green space in our home which is more congested, and how do we build green spaces without the help of technology?
At home where there is no land, is it?
Mr.
Looks like that's what
Okay,
he
which
means.
won't
Yeah.
consider how we build green space without the help of technology. Okay, we don't require technology. Nature is very, very simple. Nature is very, very easy. We don't need any technology at all. All right. Okay, so we don't have to. If you go with the YouTubes and the landscape artists, they would say 30% of coconut coir or 30% of biomass and this mixture and all those things. So you just have to plant it and just water it, and the trees are very happy to thrive. Okay, so you just have to give all your old banana peels and vegetable waste. That's wonderful. They love it. So you don't have to buy anything at all. Okay. Now, having said that, we can never ever say there is no space. You don't have to plant trees all the time. You can have wall climbers. It does not affect the building, it does not affect the roads, but then it looks so beautiful. If you go to Ooties and Kodaikanal, you see most of the buildings, old buildings, and all will be fully with green cover, right? So with such big pothos and monteras, you can have such beautiful buildings with the plantations. In fact, we are going to be starting from this July called Vettalai on the Walls. Okay, so for people who are saying that I don't have walls, we just put Vethala, that is the beetle leaves on just on the walls. So it looks beautiful and wonderful. At the same time, it's also we can helps enhance the digestive system as well. So we are doing this as part of along with the children, and for schools where there is no walking passage or there's no greenery at all, and showcasing that if you really want, if you really think, we can make things happen.
Yeah, Mamta Jain asks whether we can leverage these carbon credits.
Okay, carbon credits is a very complex subject. It is still not clear in India. So where you have to register and then claim. So to give you in easy terms, I'll tell you, if you have to claim carbon credits, you have to plant in your own land and then use that. Okay, you cannot use CSR funds for that. You have to have separate carbon credit funds for that. So only then you can do it. So in case you do not have land, then you have to have proper lease agreements with the respective bodies for 10 years and 15 years and 20 years. Mostly the government organization will not give you free lease for so many years. They'll give you only for 3 years and 4 years only. They may not give you for 15 years and 10 years. So what happens is then you have to go through other organizations to get the carbon credits. So right now, carbon credits is very, very vague at this point of time, and it's also extremely expensive. So only when we are going to be planting in large volumes, like 1 million trees and 2 million trees, carbon credits is of benefit. Otherwise, for small numbers of 10,000 and 5,000, 20,000, is going to be registering the project itself is going to cost us 8 lakhs to 15 lakh rupees. So it's going to be very, very expensive. In terms of tree plantation, it's going to be very expensive. Probably you can look out in solar or any other projects.
In fact, Mamta Jain had just asked one extended question. Is your organization community able to get these credits?
Okay. We wish that, as of now, we have planted 1.5 million trees. In the next 5 months, we are going to be planting another 1 million trees. So every month we're planting 2 lakh trees. So what we are applying for various organizations, but then, it's very confusing because Vera is there from USA. They are costing us a bomb. Come on, we are an NGO. We can't pay 14 lakh rupees or 15 lakh rupees just to register our name there. And Indian companies are there, which they're very vague, they're not sure, they're not certain. So we don't know whether it's true or not and reliable or not. So right now, the Tamil Nadu government is very proactive in this particular case, I should say. They have formed a Green Tamil Nadu mission, wherein they're asking the organizations and corporates and industries to take responsibility, and they're giving they are taking 20% of the credits and they're giving balance 80% of the credits to you. So they're working on a model. Probably it should be ready anytime soon.
Okay, there's
so
a question.
If that is the case, then we don't have to be worried about registering abroad and all that stuff. So we can get it straight away from a certified Tamil Nadu government. So they have formed a separate team called Green Tamil Nadu Mission. So they are doing that.
Good
question
evening.
from- Yeah, go on.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Khan. It's your session is very much impressed and very much useful for us. And we have many ideas in our plant, like a medicinal plant, nursery garden creation, and indoor botanical garden, and native tree plantation. We have many ideas, but we need to approach right people like you. So, is it possible to visit our factory and give your valuable suggestion, which will be helpful for us?
Definitely, we'll be happy to send you my team members, or we also have specialists depending upon wish list of what you want to do in that particular place. For example, Sandeepa ma'am said that, or someone else said that we don't want monkeys to be coming over there. So depending upon what is required there, accordingly we'll suggest, right? So similarly, yes,
Yes.
we'll suggest you and guide you through. Yes, yes. Yes, sir, we'll do that.
Which factory you are representing, sir, Mr. Jayachandra?
Yes,
Hello?
India,
Huh?
Stibermuttur.
Wheels India.
Hyundai Motors India,
Oh,
Stibermuttur.
Hyundai.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Hyundai Motors. Okay, fine. In fact, many of the industries have such questions. Maybe, as I said, we will connect with you. Probably you can
Yes,
give a.
exactly. We are extremely sensitive and aware, because generally corporates come and say that, as part of the pollution board, the pollution board has said everyone has planted 10,000 trees. So they're all doing it. I said, come on, if birds come inside and mess up the place, and monkeys come inside and mess up the place, it's going to be disaster. You're going to be extremely unhappy about the whole project itself. You started with so much of happiness and made an impact. So yes, we are guiding through all organizations such.
And the industries are also
inputs.
different, some are in food processing, pharma. So you have to be
Yes.
extremely sensitive
Yes,
and customized.
the kind of the doors they have, the kind of environment they have. Is it open or closed? Is it shut, airtight shut? So we look at various aspects of the infrastructure, and then we guide and suggest.
Thank you.
In fact,
Yes,
there's a question
Snake
from
should not come.
there's a
Scorpion
question
should
from-
not come. Centipede should not come, right?
There's a question from Raja Sati about Miyawaki concept and whether it is possible to implement in an organization.
Okay. Miyawaki is terribly misunderstood in India and in South India. Okay, Miyawaki actually means it has 9 components. One is creepers, that is which has a twigs that will hang on, attach and connect with it. Number 2 is the crawlers, which will crawl on the floor. And 3 is the climbers, it will stick to the wall and then grow. Okay, creepers, crawlers, climbers. And then we have the shooters who straight, like the coconut trees, the palm trees, the ashoka trees. Then we have small shrubs like the tulsi and the kanagamaram and the all that stuff. Then we have mid shrubs like the hibiscus and the lemon trees. Then we have canopy trees like the mangoes and the guavas, all that stuff, right? And then in the root soil, we have these potatoes and the marvakali kelange and all that stuff. And then we have ginger and the garlic and the onions. So all these put together is what a Miyawaki forest is. This cannot be done in city spaces. If we do this in city spaces, it's going to attract immediately wild spiders, centipedes, scorpions. It's going to be thriving with forest biodiversity, agreed. But then it's not going to be a safe place for children and people and environment. So what we have to ideally do is, we should not be doing in Miyawaki all these 9 varieties put together. Depending upon the space, we can do intense plantation. That is which we do. So when we do intense plantation, we do only trees. The soil layer is going to be open and seen, noticeable. So whenever we see a snake crawling or something there, it's easy to identify.
In fact, there's a comment from Mamta Jain asking whether trees add to the daily chores, and we have many reasons not to do things right. I mean, so is there any thought on that?
We have many reasons to not do right, like the general attitude that trees add to daily cleaning chores. Okay, so we have moved away from the basics, right? So that's a fact. So I don't know how to respond to this particular question. But then, yes, instead of walking across the parks and the streets and the beaches, we want to go to a gym and do the walking, right? So it's like that. So if only we were rooted to the basics, I think so we would not even be thinking otherwise.
In fact, a question from Raja Sati about
It's
cloud.
it's become more of now convenience, right? Instead of earlier we used to doing a batter at home, now it's batter packet. In Diwalis and Christmas and New Year and Ramadan, we used to make sweets at home. In the weddings, sweets we're making at home. Such a delight. All the relatives sitting together and making murukku, and I eating one piece and you eating one, and making all that. Nowadays, we're not doing it at all. So, we're moved away from all the bonding and relationships. Yeah. So I think we are moving away from the bonding with the nature, bonding from the trees itself, right?
A question on cloud
Yeah.
forest from Raja Sati. Cloud forests.
Is it are they talking about the rain or is it about the forest itself? So actually, cloud forest means it's the something like the rainforest. So wherein the canopy is so strong and retains the moisture level, so every day morning it drips the water content. So that's why it's called the cloud forest. Is that the question he's asking, or the Dubai right now they did the rains?
So Raja, you want to elaborate?
Raja, what is your question? So where did you hear it from and what is that about? So cloud forest is about the canopies restoring the morning dew drops and then dropping. It's so dense. That's why we call it as rainforest. So rainforest doesn't mean that all the day it's raining, raining, raining. All the throughout the year it's raining. So they capture the dewdrops in the morning. The trees are so dense and the shrubs are so dense, the plants are so dense that it captures and throughout the day it's slowly dripping it off.
A question on Chennai Corporation Parks. There are a lot of open spaces available, and shall we do the plantation in these areas? Shall we maintain corporate through corporate associations, whether it is possible?
Yes, Chennai Corporation right now, earlier it was Mr. Gagandeep Singh and right now Mr. Radhakrishnan. Both are wonderful people. You can call him directly and he's happy to receive you and talk to you. And he'll ask you to wait there, give the letter and then send it to you. So they're so fast.
And where do we get the plants for
yes.
plantation? That's what Mr. Prabhakaran said.
Yes, we can. Yes, there are a lot of space available in Chennai. There are a lot of space available, and shall we do the plantation in these areas? Shall we in through corporates? Yes, it is possible to maintain. It is possible to get these spaces. It is possible to do it.
In fact, the state government has rightly
So,
said. Sorry. Just to add on to what you said, we had a discussion sometime back. All the chambers were called by the state government to tell about this, whether your members can adapt, take some corporate areas, OSRs, and maintain. And as you rightly say, they are very open to that. They in fact want more people to come.
In fact, day after tomorrow, Friday, there is a meeting at the Green for this season is just starting off, right? Friday, there's a meeting. In case you would like to come, some of your members are coming. I can share your numbers to them and they can get you an invite as well. This new logo of Chennai Corporation called the Singara Chennai 2.0. It's all about people getting involved and starting their own responsibility to make Chennai beautiful. So each one take responsibility for the respective towns, respective areas, respective cities, respective streets. So that's how the new logo itself is formed.
Yeah, Mr. Prabhakaran is asking as to where can we get the plants for plantation in our factory?
Okay, so for plantation within your factory, no one would give you because it's a private property and private space. If it is outside, then the forest department would give you. free of cost. But then they have only selected species. You may not be, suppose outside, in case you want to plant, you have like 10 feet or 20 feet of passage across your forest, across your factory outside, and you want to plant trees. So you may get free plants from the forest department, but that may attract monkeys or something else. So you got to be conscious and careful about what is that you have, not only within your factory, outside the borderline as well.
What's your views on these roof gardens? Because I remember the Chennai Resilience Center was also promoting it, roof gardens, and what is your views on that?
Yeah, I'm of the view that I'm not, I promote zero maintenance trees. Okay, so roof terrace gardens, as in vegetables and all those things, require a lot of care and a lot of attention. Unless we have proper people to support and we are very, very free and we are mad and crazy about plants and this, only then it works. If we like it, that's not sufficient. We have a lot of likings, but it doesn't mean that we'll be working towards that. Right? Unless we are mad about taking care of the sapling, then it's fine. Otherwise, roof gardens, you can create roof forests. You just have to have big, big drums and then have trees across the border. Have trees, and you can have mango tree, you can have papaya tree, you can have banana tree, you can have pomegranate, you have custard apple, you name it. You can have all the trees in big, big drums across the compound wall. It's such a beautiful delight and things. And in those drums, you can have ginger and you can have mint and you can have other small, small shrubs when and where as a time pass. But in terms of having a terrace vegetable gardens, it's a very tough thing. It's not as easy as we see on the WhatsApp groups, on the YouTube groups. It's real daily work and hard work.
Agree. So
I think any other questions or
any further questions from anyone? Okay.
I think you're perfectly on schedule, isn't it?
Absolutely. So Venkat, your final
in fact,
Mr. Khan, if Madam, if I'm permitted, just I will take a minute only. See,
Yes,
I fully enjoyed the whole lecture and everything. Now, out of concern, I am asking a couple of questions. When we make all these plantation, whether in the park or in the open space, etc., a lot of children are coming and playing. Some of the leaves, some of the maharanda tool solva, and like you can see it's in hibiscus and other things. So those things sometimes causes itching. For some, it creates a nauseating thing. And how do we try to address those issues? That because plantation, yes, greenery looks nice, everything, but there are a couple of people to whom it becomes harmful, especially when they're children. That is point number one. Point number two, when we make these plantations permitting everyone to make use of the free space, and once that plants start growing and trying to yield some fruits or vegetables, then the legal complication comes. Who is the owner for that? Who will buy it? Who will sell it? Who will take the revenue? Maintenance comes, no one will own the responsibility. So this legal complications, how are we going to address that? That's the second one. The third one, in apartment type, today you can see individual houses are becoming very rare. Everywhere, a lot of apartments, 18 floors, 20 floors and all. Out of the 20 floors, there are some 5-6 floor owners probably will be interested in planting something around the compound and all. Then when it started growing, either they will say it is injurious to our house because some cracks are coming here and there, cut it out, or that fruit also, we also will have a share because it's a common area. Now, how to address all those things? I mean, in your experience.
Okay. Number one is about the children and the pollens. The flower pollens. But it's not only about the children; it's also about the elders also. So, so far we have not come across any such situation because most of the time we have planted only trees varieties, and the flowers it takes 2.5 years to 3 years to come. So by the time the flowers all are going up and the children are very small. So so far we have not come across this particular situation, and nor have anyone complained to us also. After coming over here, I had this asthma problem or a breathing problem. I had this wheezing problem. No one complained to this. But yes, some people are, when they go to change in temperatures and when they go for several special places, they do get it. So far, we have not come across this, so I do not know about that. Second is about the in public places we are planting fruit trees and flowers things. So what do we do about it? So we are primarily looking at not even the people. We're looking at the birds and the squirrels and them for them to eat and have, enjoy the thing. And if public eat also, it's perfectly all right. It's no one's. It's everyone's. The fruits are for everyone. So someone must be hungry. Someone must be without food, so therefore they are taking it and eating it. So it's perfectly all right. So it's for them. And we have noticed quite a few women coming on a regular basis and picking up the flowers and going. And mostly it's going to the temples and for the at home in the evening for the prayers. So I think it's a divine intervention, I would say, and it's a beautiful connect.
Yeah, there is one last question on Conocarpus, whether it is advisable for plantation. And I'd like to add to that whether Juliflora, which is all over the country, how does that affect the soil and
see, city to city, there are plantations different. Okay. So we have to be looking at that particular area, what was existing, and then go by that rather than me. So what was available in Madurai, trying to bring it to somewhere near the beaches of Pondicherry, or for that matter, Kovalam over here may not be appropriate. So the Kovalam has the different kind of mangroves and stretches, so which may not be suitable in these city spaces. So we have to be case to case, area to area. We have to be look into that and then go about it. And definitely, foreign species are a big no. It was a blunder mistake. People brought in over here and for beauty and things, aesthetics they brought it. So I don't think so. We should replicate or support or do it in any way at all. So we are totally not suggesting or away from it. So here the idea is to revive back the planet, heal the planet, rather than burden it more. Because if you're going to be going ahead with non-native, it's going to only making it even worse. It's going to become extremely invasive. Yeah.
And maybe water
And
also
about-
we should be mindful about watering and
Yeah,
those kind of
see,
things.
for example, if you look at the gulmohar,
Yeah,
it's
those
very
varieties.
brittle, falls
Correct.
down, and then you will not even see any insect or an ant or a nest or nothing there. So it's just colorful, it's beautiful. That's it. But then there are a lot of our own species that are more wonderful and more exciting, more interesting as well. So what is the need to bring that here?
Good. So Venkat, your final words
Yeah.
to close.
Yeah. In fact, really enjoyed it. In fact, I worked in Tata Steel in the 80s, and that time they had this thing of planting a few lakh trees. So when I went after 35 years, I found the place extremely green. It's a steel plant there too, and it became more of a plant than a steel plant actually. And in fact, I love the way that we humans, we think we are superior, but you have given the trees a personality and made them far superior to all of us. Shows your concern and your care and your passion for this particular subject. And I'd like to always say that the Robert Frost poem, "The woods are lovely, dark and deep," but all over the world, the woods aren't lovely, dark and deep. So Mr. Hafiz Khan and team have got miles to go before they sleep. So thank you so much for the wonderful, presentation and your interaction. I mean, for technical people like us, we know nothing about trees, but there's so much to gain from people like you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, team, for giving us the opportunity. And we're happy to be part of your team members in any way. If you can support, if you can handhold, if you can be a catalyst, we'll be more than glad. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, sir. Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
sir.
Thanks to everyone who
Yeah.
had joined. Let us meet at the next talk soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.